As is the case in every game, some things are better than others, and some things have long-lasting value, and that's the kind of stuff that you want to invest in your account. So in this video, sponsored by the makers of Call of Dragons, I want to talk to you about the top 7 best investments I've made for my account that might also deliver tremendous value to you as well if you invest in them. And the premise for this video is that there are things that over time just retain their value, or in some cases have so much value across so many dimensions of the game that they're incredibly powerful to have in your arsenal. Now, just to give you a little bit of context and a few honorable mentions, I want to put in the honorable mention category Bahorn. I want to put Moo in the honorable mention category. Unfortunately, I haven't maxed her yet to be able to say exactly how strong she is from personal experience, but others have had fantastic results. And one other that I want to put in the honorable mention category is Bakshi. These heroes are very powerful. They're very versatile. In the case of Bakshi, he's a cavalry hero, but you'll use him even in the end game, and also weirdly in the early game, you can use him to defend your city. I've talked about that in an entirely separate video. This is just the honorable mentions list. Let's jump into number 7 on the list. And this might be unexpected for some people, but at the very start of the game, that's right, from the very beginning of the game, you can go and build this pet, and you'll be shocked at how many uses you have for it. That is a sand lizard. If you've used one, you know it's true that a sand lizard is powerful and versatile. Now, the thing that's really cool about a sand lizard is its area of effect healing. And I'm not particularly a huge fan of healing. I generally would rather do damage. But this scales so well, healing your own armies if you're standing in a stack. When does that happen? When you bring lots of mages, when you bring lots of marksmen. Not really as much when you bring lots of infantry because you want to spread them out, but maybe when you bring lots of cavalry. Some people have even hypothesized and actually built lineups around having 5 sand lizards. Every march you have kind of healing all the other marches. I think a sand lizard is a pretty cool thing to have in the arsenal. Decreasing the cooldown of the talent skills so that it heals more frequently is a huge win. My guidance would be to go more generic than I did on mine. This one is obviously oriented towards normal attackers, so it's designed for marksmen. But if you pick skills that are a little more generic, you can move kind of, or you have less skill slots, let's say. You can move all in on a sand lizard at the start of the game, and I still use mine today over, 2.5 years later? Sand Lizard has been a really cool investment that is versatile and lasts, which brings us to another pet, by the way. At number 6, and this is not just a pet-focused list. I'm going to talk about other stuff, but number 6 is the Venom Lizard. Now, Venom Lizard you also can get very early on in the game, and Venom Lizard is powerful because when you get attacked, you inflict poison damage back onto your opponent, or at least you have a chance of that. But it can only trigger once per second, which is important to remember. So this is good on infantry, and it's good on literally any infantry, because the infantry are going to run in, they're going to get targeted, and then you're going to start poisoning stuff. So the reason I like a Venom is because it's very versatile. Unlike other infantry pets where, how good is Frostbear on all the other infantry generations? Well, it's not that good, right? How good is a Bruin Bear on things other than Chisgule? Well, I mean, it's okay, I guess, right? Like, the thing that's so powerful about the Venom is its versatility. Now, mine is built in a really weird way when you actually would consider rallying with this thing, which I did to incredible effect. I generally would not recommend that. I'd rather put more damage onto the garrison. But a part of what we did over a year plus ago is that we would rally with infantry. They would swarm Goresh Chisgule. At the time was meta, the strongest you could do. And I would just be cooking them. And they would be taking way more sevs than they realized and was worth to them. And the area of effect damage just drained the heck out of the opposing team. Really cool at the time. I wouldn't build it the way that I've built it here. I mean, it's old school back when you could actually get Advanced Counter-Strike other than from end of season rewards. That's how you, this is the mark of the OG right over here, not to pat myself on the back. Let's move on to number 5. And coincidentally, number 5 actually has the Venom Lizard equipped. It's Hosk. Hosk has been an amazing investment. You know, in some games, the VIP heroes lose their value. Tragedy, in my opinion. But not Hosk, not on Call of Dragons. Hosk has lasting value from his versatility. You can use him with literally every troop type. And his gimmick is that if you stack buffs, you do huge amounts of counterattack crits and crit damage. So you can find synergies there, like the classic Hosk Kanara that works incredibly well. The downfall of Hosk, who is our number 5 best investment in the game, is that he's giving Keen, Vigor, and Rampage, and that will not stack with other Keen, Vigor, and Rampage buffs. So you just got to look out for that. Some pairs aren't going to work because of that. It is what it is, but Hosk still clocks in at number 5 top investments in Call of Dragons. Which brings us to number 4. And I just finished saying that, like, isn't it incredible how the VIP heroes in this game have lasting value? Lilia is on that list of things that just has gosh darn amazing lasting value. Now, rather than break out Lilia and Velen, and also the Infernal Flame, and also a Sapphire, we're going to lump all of them together at number 4 for amazing lasting investments. You max your Lilia at the start of the game, and I still use her in the end game every time I bring mages out of my city. Lilia is very strong for her area of effect damage. Using with Velen is a natural pair. They were just like designed to be put together. Obviously, the Infernal Flame with the passive effect here, giving the magic attack, is designed to go with Lilia for her Scorch. And also, the Sapphire has amazing area of effect damage. I'm hitting 3. Is it 3 total enemies? Each time you inflict, let's see here. Yeah, it's 3. For every 155 points of spirit, I hit an extra legion. So I'm hitting 3 legions over here, man. 1 plus 2 legions. I showed it up top. This is big AoE damage. It's what Lily Velen does. You invested them at the start of the game. You will use them until the current meta as it works today. Technically, we have Gen 4 mages coming up soonish, I would assume. But as of the time of this recording, let me tell you, man, Lily Velen, Sapphire, and an Infernal Flame, one of the best investments you can make from day 1 of starting the game. Okay, maybe the Infernal Flame takes a couple days till it'll show up, but you get the idea. Really incredible value here. The only thing that I think is better is a pair that can also be used in a Rally Garrison context. And that's where we got to talk about number 3 on my list. It's Goresh, it's Chisgule, and it's a Spirit Bone Torque. Now, the pet, you got options, okay? I talked about that earlier. But Goresh and Chisgule have been shockingly good. Like, I have defended my city. I would still consider defending my city with Goresh, even though he's a rally guy. Because this skill is too broken. And there's nothing they can do about it now, man. Like, they're not going to nerf him. So, when you launch a counterattack, you have a 50% chance to do AoE damage to 5 enemy legions. And it can be triggered twice per second. So even if you're getting unlucky with the chances of triggering, if you're getting hit by a lot of stuff, this is still going to trigger the max number of times per second, doing huge AoE damage, 400 damage factor per second. AoE. That's really good. Okay, that's like active skill levels of goodness, but it's not even an active skill. And the thing that's interesting about the Chisgule is that you don't even have to be getting hit by that much. You do double the counterattacks. So in a lot of ways, honestly, maybe the Chisgule is like the honorable mention in this pairing. But it's more like the Goresh plus the Spirit Bone Torque are really quite outstanding. The Spirit Bone Torque does more counterattack. And this has been very powerful for Rally Garrison because I think at this point they don't really design artifacts to work with extra efficiency from the additional effect in Rally Garrison contexts. So this is sort of the legacy of a design that I don't think they're often replicating. And it's not that, you know, the current artifacts couldn't work in a Rally Garrison context. They definitely can, and some of them do. But what I'm pointing out is that it seems like most of them now are slanted for only being particularly effective in the field rather than like just so dang good for all contexts. And some people will be like, oh, but Chisgule, you know, what are you talking about? You know, the shield, you can use that for rally. And like, you can use Shield of Sturdiness, but there really aren't that many situations where you can get a shield via a rage skill and also be doing enough skill damage for this to work. Like, people think this is good for Rally Garrison, but it's just generally not better than the Spirit Bone Torque. That's a nuanced conversation. I'm getting onto a tangent. Let's talk about number 2. Number 2, best investment in Call of Dragons. And you could trade this out for number 1, okay? But people are going to say, oh, you care about infantry too much. So I think I'll just put them at number 2. It's the new infantry, man. Kuma plus Lei Quan is insane. I mean, it slices, it dices, it rallies, it garrisons. Get yourself a Serpent's Edge, get yourself a Moss Rock, and man, you've got something that works in the field, that works for rallying, that works for garrisoning. I don't get it, but we've got Goresh Skogul 2.0. So of course, I'm going to put that on the list as being incredibly good. Now, I'm not actually so sure that the Moss Rock is the best pet in all situations, but it's good enough, man. It's good enough. So I don't know what more there is to say. Like, heroes that do all the things. That's powerful. Literally, like, what more could we ask for here? I'm not so sure. In some ways, honestly, too powerful. Which brings us to the final, number 1, best investment in the game, where I kind of blundered, okay? And that's Magze. Best investment in the game, man. I don't think you can get better merits. I mean, I'm sure there are people that have with other armies, but I feel like for your average player to roll up and get some good merits, Magze has been amazing. They work with marksmen. They work well as mages as well, which is so weird, but like, maybe I'm just too much of a traditionalist sticking with the actual troop type that they say they are, using only marksmen. I have not used them as mages, but people say that as mages, they slap, man. Mag, Zay, also for a time, very good as a rally. People have used it to garrison. Very, very versatile. Not meta, in my opinion, as a rally or a garrison, but obviously that versatility combined with the field domination is incredible. And I really wish I had done Gilded Crossbow. This was my blunder from day one. This thing's amazing. I really resisted doing a Shadow Manticore. The reason I did it is because I specifically built this Sand Lizard for Magze. And then they launched the Shadow Manticore. And I was like, dang, man, like, I just full invested in this Sand Lizard. And now you're going to drop the thing that's better for Magze? Yes, that is what they did. And it's just better. So just invest in it. And I should have locked in with this way sooner because, oh my God, man. Magze, Shadow, and Gilded Crossbow might be for an like your average account that's not trying to rally garrison, the single most important investment they can make in the game. I could be off on this, and I'm going to be releasing a tier list tomorrow, and I'm going to circle up. I plan to release a tier list tomorrow. Let me I don't know, temper expectations here for the timing of when it goes live. But in the coming days, I'm going to release a tier list. I'm going to review it with the folks in my alliance before I publish it to get a little bit of feedback. But I'm pretty sure Magze is going to be near the top of that list, man. And so any investment you want to do into a Shadow Manticore is going to be worth. And Magze and the Gilded Crossbow, I kind of cheaped out on the pet, which I don't regret because to go more expensive is like really expensive. And also I feel like crit chance, crit damage is incredibly good for normal attacks on Magze. So absolutely no regrets going with that aspect of a hero enhancement build. The end of season skill here, absolutely crucial. Just get it. Kind of tragic that I have a low strength roll on this. And like, it is what it is. Sucks to suck. I have what I have and it ain't bad, but it could be better sort of a situation. Right? If that strength roll was higher, would have been real nice, but how many regeneration potions do I want to spend on this to try to get a better 8 slaughter? Clearly I've spent some, but I don't think that is the right use of my regens to push this any further. So it's in a pretty damn good spot. And with pets, unless you're buying them from the pet shop from other players, you get what you get, and try not to get upset if you get wrecked. Right? And sometimes you get really lucky. And other times you don't. And that is just the nature of regenning. All right? The joke there is the phrase is you get what you get and you don't get upset. That's what you tell a kid. I have kids, 3 of them, in case you didn't know. Anyways, that was enough of a tangent. You enjoyed the vid, throw a like on here, subscribe. Thank you again to the makers of Call of Dragons for sponsoring this video. More COD videos coming soon. I've got a brand new season starting soon. A lot of big teams are in this season, so it should be pretty nuts. And I'm hyped for it. I'm freaking here for it. Begins in a couple days, all right? Until next time. You have fun smashing your enemies. Take care, everybody, and drop a comment. There's probably other things that belong on this list. Like, Kanara could definitely be an honorable mention. Like, there's definitely other things that are really good and have had lasting investment and value in this game, right? Like, Rog could be on there. Magro could be on there. But, I don't know. I feel pretty good about the choices we made, all right? Until next time, have fun smashing your enemies. Take care, everybody.